Okay. Here we go. We are on. I am backwards. Well, no. For them, actually, no. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. See, waiting room. Okay. Admit all. Hello. Hey, Ben.
Hello. Alon, you look frozen.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Now, Alon, you're a plant.
I know. That's supposed to be a rabbi. He's a plant.
There you
Hi.
go.
Happy birthday.
Sameach. Talk some.
Still connecting. Can you see us?
Oh, yeah.
I see Alon. He's not talking.
I thought maybe it's the A's. Now you had your birthday today. You couldn't even look in.
I got nothing.
Can you hear me? 45. I got to take my glasses off to look in. I had misplaced them for over 24 hours, and I just found them on the floor on the carpet next to the left side of the chair. So I'm keeping them next to me so I don't lose them.
Good idea.
Where are you?
I'm in San Diego.
No, are you in a dance studio?
Oh, yeah, my back room, yeah, it's kind of dance room. Yeah, my husband put on a mirror. There's a 52-inch television. We hooked up the HDMI cable, so you're up.
Yeah, no, that's what it looked like. We tried to do that and it wouldn't work, so.
Oh, okay.
No.
And then I'm sorry we missed you back in 2014.
Yes, but that wasn't, I had to fly somewhere, right?
Well,
yes.
Well, I flew. I was going to her cousin's wedding. Yeah, we got to see Ben and his wife and daughter.
Where were you? Was that Florida? No.
No, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Makes sense.
And the people from New York, they had to take the subway over and the train over and the shuttle over to the hotel.
We had a good number. We had most of the people there, I think. No, we had about 20. You between the two times, you had about 20 people show up, didn't you?
13, I think. Hey,
there
Dave.
was only 13. There was more. Hey, Dave.
Yeah. I saw Dave on one of the Israeli folk dance. Oh, the 24-hour marathon. That was it. I saw him for Israeli folk dancing.
Do you dance? Are you dancing?
I do. And I was just dancing last night, which because I didn't have my glasses, I was wearing my sunglasses. It was a Zoom conference. It was hilarious. So I didn't have my camera on until the very end.
Dave, turn the volume.
Thank you. Got my volume.
Okay.
Hello, Ben. I see you, Ben. No. How are you? Hi, Jen.
Alon, where are you? Alon, where are you in California?
Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Have you always lived over there?
Hi, Rabbi.
A decade now.
Oh, okay.
We're in Tennessee.
Decade, yeah.
In Nashville or somewhere else?
Knoxville.
Knoxville.
Wow.
Hey, Julie.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, your hair's great.
I'm going to go out front. Well, hey, Dave. Hey, Ben. Hey, Alon.
Hey, Julie.
Hey.
Hey, Jen.
So I have a question. Alon, in your voicemail, you have an accent when you say your name. How is it you're pronouncing your first name?
Half Israeli, vaguely Israeli. I don't know. It's supposed to be Hebrew, but if I say it too strong, people think I'm saying alone with an E at the end, and I can't do that.
Right. No, but I mean, I've always said Alon, but is it Alon?
That's the standard American way, yeah.
Okay.
Except in Boston, they call me Alon.
I'm a San Diego girl.
My son's
So where is everyone now?
It's I-L-A-N. It's not.
No, it's A.
That's Alon. Your name is Alon.
Yeah.
Oh, but I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Okay.
In Boston, they used to butcher it.
Julie, what part of Maryland are you in? Hey, Sharon.
Rockville.
Hey, you are in Rockville?
Oh, my God. Hi, Sharon.
Sharon,
Hey,
how are you?
Sharon.
Now,
Happy
Sharon's
birthday.
only 20 minutes from me in Rancho Bernardo.
Yes. David,
See,
we
have
can't
this-
see you.
Who?
Oh,
David.
Yeah, Dave, move the camera down. There you go. Oh, the sun's
Oh,
right
my
behind
goodness.
you,
Hi,
Dave.
everybody.
Hey.
I'm overwhelmed. This is crazy. Hi, Rabbi.
Is there another rabbi? Just out of curiosity. Is there like a second?
Okay, I made a big stinking to-do that you become a rabbi and Jerry has become a mayor.
I know, and mayor.
I
Where's
saw
the
that Jerry is a mayor. I don't remember how that, like, it was on his email or something. That's like Mayor Ben.
Yeah, and
It's not
Jen
like nowhere
definitely
too. He's like
emphasized it.
Pete Buttigieg style city. It's a real city where he's the mayor. It's not like shit's.
Oh, really? It's not like a rinky-dink town.
No. It's like one of the major suburbs of Phoenix, I think.
That's
I
Oh.
looked
amazing.
it up.
Very cool.
Okay,
I
so
did.
Dave, you have to sit
the
somewhere
sun
else.
is
We can't
coming
see
right
because of the sun.
behind you. Somebody move the camera, move your body. Yeah,
There you go.
Do a little dance.
Look at that gray hair, old man.
I know. I love it.
Me,
Love it.
51 and proud.
Should we have
They had
colored
gray hair back in
the color
2014
before
too,
we
I
showed
think.
up?
Oh, thanks.
I'm up
You're
there
right.
too, but I just got mine done by myself.
Oh, but
I
you're
was
not.
thinking-
Nice
Nice
job.
job.
I'm the same age as you, and I got no very little
Thank
gray hair,
you.
so I
Mm,
didn't know what's wrong
I'm
with
growing
you
my
guys.
bangs out,
mhm.
I
apparently.
was just hoping you didn't go somewhere to get your color done. That would be.
No, I use
there you go.
these old fashioned.
Home style.
That's why it's much darker, but I would like it.
It looks good, Julie.
Thank you very much.
I wanna go through each person and
Yes.
kind of like see like once you left the kibbutz, like what
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
from there.
Right, Jen, who was that? When was our last get together?
It was
And who
those
was that?
June 2014. Well, no. We went to get June 2015 at Jen's house.
Oh,
Okay,
you
so
had
we were
another one,
15,
yeah.
and then we have 14. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was never able to attend. My smalls were too small.
Which, speaking of Jen, she's trying to get in. I admitted her, but now it's still saying joining. So I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
It's gonna have to wait a minute. Okay, but I like your idea, Sharon, about each of us taking a few minutes. That's how I've done it.
Right? Yeah, I think so. Because I'm just down here where, like,
Did
you
everyone
know.
put up like a picture of themselves from 25 years ago in like the corner?
Well, that group picture I can put.
I can.
Yeah,
I
put that
know.
group-
I
Well, Jen
recognize
has
all
a
of you, but
group
it'd be fun.
picture.
Would just be
Fill out
loud.
the group
Yeah,
picture.
group pictures.
That'd be hilarious. How about after the Zoom meeting, everybody uploads it to our
Like a SharePoint.
Facebook.
That's what the
page.
celebrities do. They do the younger version of themselves and the older version of themselves.
And
Oh, there she is.
we are
Okay, I got you. She's
Uh,
coming in. I gotta call her, and it's like a. Okay, now she's coming in. Okay, now you're coming in. For some reason, it wasn't letting you in. Now I see your
Needs to
name.
put her video on. Is she on her phone?
Oh no. Okay, well then come back in. I mean, I see your name now.
Is this gonna be like the Passover
back
Zoom
out and come
meeting
back
with
in
my
if you need to.
parents?
No, hit that button.
All right, bye.
You know,
Yeah.
some people have gray
Oh, I
hair. It
got
doesn't
that
mean it's like your parents, okay?
Did everyone have that Passover?
No, I get myself up. Why is the phone
Oh,
not
you were
working?
leading that Passover, probably.
I was. I have a neighbor who's a congregant, and she's a Luddite. And like she'll call. I'm like, I'm not your IT person. You need an IT person. I'm not your IT. Just because you're
Yeah.
discovering email in your 60s doesn't mean I'm here to help you.
Who is 60?
60s. We're
now
not that
She's like
far
a
off from
doctor in
60,
her late
some of
60s,
us.
maybe she's 70, and she just started using email.
That's hilarious. Hey, better late than
I'm gonna
never.
posting both Seders this year actually on Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first one, and my mom's part of my mom's family was on Zoom, and at the end of the Seder, one of my cousins who's in Syracuse was like, "We're doing this again tomorrow, right?" And I was like, "Oh, jeez." I was like,
So
"Sure."
Jamie's coming in as X. Just so you know.
What?
Oh,
Jamie
Jamie is
is
next to us.
X.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
here.
I-
Hello, Jamie.
Hey.
Thank you.
Well, he didn't know that
Connecting
information.
to his audio.
I think he's still muted.
No,
Yeah.
it takes like a
Coming in.
second. It takes
He's
like a
going
second
dot,
to
dot,
operate.
dot, 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 doing a
Okay,
little
go
dance.
to Jen so Jen can come back in.
Yeah, I saw Jen on the list. I'm looking.
So Jamie, are you going by Jamie or X for this conversation?
How about Jamie?
Jamie? Okay. Well, he went by Jamie in 2014, so I didn't know.
The last
I'll
few years.
call
we were on
next.
with Jamie.
I guess whatever feels more natural.
Hey, Jamie.
So, Mom, want to see the comic
Can you hear us?
version of the lizard?
Can you hear us?
Excuse me, Mom.
1 second, buddy. Leo, after my.
I have a word.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That is. Yeah.
You wanna
I
say hi
took
to my
daughter
people?
and I had her go to her room with her
Yeah, we
tablet.
like
or-
I'm gonna go inside.
Okay, buddy.
Always say hi to
Yeah.
kids, definitely.
No, wait, I'll sunbathe.
My boy.
Dang dogs.
Okay.
What are you drinking, Sharon?
A coffee.
Okay.
That was
I was
a
just
whole
looking
That's not what I'm gonna be drinking.
Oh, you're noon. Okay, you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's early, but maybe not
Yeah,
sure.
because Sharon, she's 20 minutes from me. Right to
Yeah.
Byrne,
I
right?
know.
Yeah, I know.
How's the
We haven't
weather?
seen each other.
I know. Crazy.
I know
How's
we have.
did you feel the riots last night?
We didn't.
Right.
My husband was driving back from the Mesa area, but the
Are you
word
serious?
he was before that happened. But he was saying like
Oh,
there were no
goodness.
cars in the freeway.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like he was lucky.
This is nuts. Yeah, this is nuts. And from what I hear, I'm new to San Diego, but from what I hear, well, also from what I've known, like San Diego kind of stays out of it, you know, kind of peacefully watch from the sidelines and just hitting everywhere. Huh? Nuts.
We went to DC yesterday.
Really? Oh, you're in Maryland. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
To protest or
Just to drive around.
yeah.
So there were some protests and there were some people driving in a line in cars,
Yeah.
escorted.
Okay. That's better.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But we
Not
also
good.
had the protests in Baltimore, and I
Right.
was there
Okay, can you
in,
get back in? Because I went to
in
boot you out.
Baltimore at the
Get back
time.
in.
Oh
Are you able to
boy.
get back in, or did I boot you out where you can't get back in?
So let's start because
Yeah.
Jen's
Oh,
trying to
okay.
get Jen on.
Okay. Who wants to start? Where have you been since what year was it? 19.
Sharon, you're starting.
What,
What
oh,
was that?
You get talk. You're starting.
1994?
1993.
93?
Okay. And Jen's coming in on her husband's coming in. Oh, just changing it.
Hey, Jen!
Oh,
Finally.
okay.
We can.
Where are you? That's such a cool space. I like that. Is that like a home office?
Oh my God.
All right, we got cool Jen and red Jen here. All right.
Jen is not too far from me.
You're the nexus of the universe. Two Jen.
Right.
So who's starting?
Sharon,
Jen,
why don't
we're going around and telling where we've been in the last 27 years since we left the kibbutz.
How do you sum that up?
I know. Ah, here comes the mayor.
Here comes the
Oh, you
mayor.
got the man
Ah,
to say.
Mary.
Hey,
What is
Jen.
that on top? Mayor, oh, look at you.
I just jumped off the. Hold on. I'm sorry, that's obnoxious. I don't know how to do that. Sorry. And I just got off a call with our police chief,
Oh
and
boy.
that's why I'm late because we had looting last night in the community next door. So
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
probably can't stay long, and I really apologize for that. I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh my gosh. No
But it's great
problem.
to see so many beautiful faces.
I know.
Maybe we should start with Jerry then.
Man, how
Yeah.
do we manage
Jerry-
this? It must have been something in the water over there.
Jerry, let's start with you. We're talking about since you left the kibbutz, what have you been up to?
Oh God.
Just a highlight.
College, work, law school, business, practice law in different places, lived in different places, not like our friend Exodus, but a few. And then back to Arizona, met my wife in New York City, she's from South Africa originally, and
Wow.
last we have 2 beautiful kids, and life's great other than all the crazy shit going on in the world.
Yeah, I was
Illness.
thinking about you. Like you have your own little city to take care of. Not little. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I
How's the
visited Jerry. So it was what, summer '94, so '95, something like that. And then my brother went to go see Michael Baumgart. He had to actually having to come over today to pick up some kitty litter that my dad had dropped off because his cat passed away. Well, that was but just that he came over. So, anyways, happened to be the same day. Next.
Small world. Well, it's great to see you guys. How's everyone? Looks great. I'm gonna listen for a little bit, and sorry to jump in late. And let me try to get this stupid background off because it's obnoxious. But
No, all good. All good.
Well, I'll quickly go and say I live in San Diego with my husband Mike of almost 14 years. July 2nd will be 14 years. And Madeline is 8.5. Yeah, everybody, because I sent Alon the picture of Madeline and me. So everybody's up to date.
Mini me, yeah.
Yes, my
Totally.
mini me. Yeah, in every sense of the way. You name it, she's there.
Little
Attitude,
tiny
everything.
dancer.
Yeah, folk dancer, ballet. Julie said that she wouldn't come to the 2014 reunion unless I put both feet behind my head. So picture me doing that at the reunion, and Madeline's trying to do 2.5, but her feet kind of went to here. But I was actually, at the time, I can't do anymore.
That's funny.
I didn't know I used to do that back then. But I knew it. Hey Jen, didn't you bring a cool photo album with you?
I did.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. I didn't even look through it. I just took it out. And so right after we came back, I was so missing everything. I made this photo album of everybody.
Oh my gosh.
But I can show it later. But
oh my gosh, that's awesome. You should post it on Facebook also. Take pictures
oh,
and post it.
yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, like when we came home, I was so depressed. I don't know. It took me like I don't know, over a year to like recover. And it's like, time to come home and start your life. You've had your fun now. Chop chop.
Right. I know. It was a whole other life that summer. I was crying at the airport because I had to leave Rick.
Oh
so
my
he
God.
phoned me yesterday.
Oh
He
my
said,
God.
say hello to everybody. Alon, happy birthday to you. Oh, it's Alon's birthday today. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Well, you're polluted something, actually. No.
A
Can we
rabbi,
attempt to
huh?
can we attempt to sing to you on your birthday over Zoom, just because it would sound so interesting with 9 of us singing all the different
It's
voices?
very hard to sing.
I think we should attempt to sing happy birthday.
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
you.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Rabbi.
Happy
birthday to you.
birthday.
great.
It's been a surprise.
He was around.
I was not looking forward to it, but it's been a really nice birthday. Thank
Oh, and Dan Pinkert, I chatted with him. I spoke with him. And he said that his internet connection isn't that great for the Zoom and everything, but he says hello to everybody also, and he's going to send an email out to say hello.
Oh, good.
That was good.
That's awesome. I'm picturing him in the Zoom chat with his shirt off.
And
That was his-
playing the violin.
you. Chat.
Yeah.
Playing
There
the
was some
violin.
picture. Maybe, Jen, do you have that picture of him in
I'm
his
sure I
boxer
have
shorts
one.
in his room?
I'm sure I have one. Oh,
Or playing the violin to the cows.
oh my God.
There was some picture somewhere I saw that he had his hands up, no shirt on, and he was in his room and just boxer shorts. That was it.
Okay, hold tight.
I don't know if you see the
Good
picture.
chance.
All right, who wants to go next? Where have you been since Kibbutz?
I think the Zoom video would just be back.
Who's that one?
Who's speaking?
What?
X, is that you? If you're speaking
Yeah,
and you
bad
have bad, it helps to turn your video off, because then it saves bandwidth for your audio. I do this like 8 times a week. Is someone speaking?
Not yet, no.
Very quiet.
No one's talking around. We look like the Brady Bunch right here.
Big number.
I know, I've been looking down. Sharon, well, on my screen, you're Alice. On my screen.
Funny.
Was
Oh,
Alice in
left.
the middle?
Wait, he just left. Oh, okay, because maybe he couldn't hear. Okay, maybe he'll come back in.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, awesome, Jen.
No, hold it up again a little closer.
That's the picture.
Yeah.
Bring it closer. Oh my
Woo!
gosh, that's too funny. That's very funny.
Do you guys ever like regret that when you were that age you thought you were fat? And
Yes!
No.
Like so
Oh my
good. I was so
God.
cute back then. I could eat
I regret it
anything I
now.
wanted.
Oh my gosh, so much insecurity at
Oh
that
my
age.
God. I look back at those pictures, I'm like, my God, you are gorgeous. What are you so upset about? You almost had a six-pack and you ate all the time.
Can you guys see this picture?
Right, like that's
Oh
amazing.
boy.
This is me with
I
the dead
remember that
Fiona
picture, Jen.
face.
I remember you, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mud. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You did.
Should've taken
Lori
the
was actually in the back of that picture with a towel around her when I cropped her out of the picture.
Oh my god,
So she wouldn't have
pretty funny.
Yeah. Lori,
Okay,
Hillary,
Alon, what have you been up to?
Is it me? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
me?
you. I feel like
so
I have to take charge.
I did
Yeah,
not have the
please,
worst
please.
time after we left because I went right back to I went to college. I started college right away.
That's right.
So that was fun. I went to Israel several times since then. I went on a cross-country bike trip. I was in the Peace Corps in Africa. I worked in LA in the music business. And then I went back to get my master's degree in New York where I met my wife. Then we moved to the seminary in LA. And then I moved to Tennessee to be working here. And we have 4 boys. We're all born here.
Wow.
So I've been
Oh
here
my
now.
goodness.
you have 4 kids now? Did you say you have
4
boys.
boys.
Yeah.
What
Oh my
are
9,
their
7,
ages?
5, and 3.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
Awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
God, bless your wife.
Wow.
Bless your wife.
As they say,
Awesome.
bless your heart. Yeah, exactly. Bless your heart.
Where are the boys right at this moment?
Jewish
I have
things
two.
for schmuck.
You're not there. That's
for
the
schmuck.
important thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm in my office. This is the only quiet place I go to every week.
Alon, where when did you decide to become a rabbi? Was that always the plan?
Probably always on my radar. Yeah, that's probably always
I
on my radar.
actually remember having a conversation with you
Really?
about it. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
really sweet that you guys have so many memories. It's so like fuzzy to me because
Wait,
so
yeah.
much happened the
Maureen,
next year. Like
Because you were so young.
I mean,
I
the reason why we
know.
all went
And
to
it-
Kibbutz
I
Yagur in
know.
the
I
first
was already
place.
done with college in my first job when I was in Israel.
I
That's
know.
right.
The young
I
That's
remember
right.
why you barely gave me the time of day. Now that I figured out, I was like, yeah, you were 18. You was
I did 1 year of college because Alon, we were the young ones, and I
The only
just
people that
remember
age?
that we,
So did
we
I.
all
I
were
did
going
1 year
there
of
for
college.
because we were Jewish and we wanted to be with the Jewish, people.
I think I was the youngest though. And I
You
thought-
were the
You
youngest.
were,
Everyone,
yeah,
everyone
you-
else was
I
in
was
college. You
Definitely
were
the youngest.
not in college.
Sorry.
think
Yeah,
Carrie
you
was
were.
the
You
oldest.
just graduated, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was
so,
1 year after college, and I think all of us were kind of running away from something or trying to find ourselves, right? Isn't that why we all
Definitely.
went there?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
that
goodness.
is a big girl with
Oh,
curly hair.
Julie,
I felt it was like
Oh my
real
God.
world
Are
Israel
you
or
guys in
something.
your,
Real world,
are you guys in
Oh
your
my God.
50s now?
I just hit 50.
I just
look
turned
great.
Also
46.
tough.
Wait,
Slow
how old are you?
down.
46. I thought you said you
But
just.
I just
Oh,
turned 46 last
wow.
week.
Wow.
Oh, that
Wow.
hair. Oh, that hair.
I
Oh my
thought you
God.
said you were out of college.
I didn't realize that
Sure,
was you.
I just had 1 year. I just finished 1 year of college.
Wait, was that you in that picture, Sharon?
Yes,
Yeah.
with the black
Yes.
hair.
I know.
I forgot. Okay, that's why I'm not recognizing you at all. I was
Oh,
like,
yes, that was me.
that's right. You're like talking like we used to hang out. I'm like, who? Were you someone that didn't give me like?
Is
I don't
Jerry
remember.
still
I was
here?
cool enough to talk to you.
Are
Then,
you
so I'm
kidding
not-
me? So you're saying
That's
you
right.
have no idea who I am?
Jeremy and Tracy.
Oh my God, that is
Oh,
too
okay,
funny.
The Tonga party.
We were buds.
I know.
Rabbi?
But weren't you Sharon back then, or was that just what all
Sure,
these
why
Israelis
not? I mean, Sharon. Yeah, sure, why not? When in
do?
Israel.
You're only a year older than me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you weren't out of college.
No, I
Okay,
just
but you said you were out
finished
of
my
college.
A
first
year
year.
out of college. A year
Yeah,
done.
I just finished my first year.
Dave, can you see yourself there?
Oh my God, this is so funny.
That picture I remember. We had like a toga party, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the Tonga. Yeah.
Julie looks the same. Same smile. Yeah.
Okay. This is a girl from Australia, Rachel.
This is 50, baby. This is what 50 looks like.
You look
Okay.
amazing, girl.
Rachel,
Great.
that was you.
Who's that in the picture?
That's a
Wait, do that again.
From Australia, putting her finger to Alon's nose.
Oh, that's my nose.
That's you.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I was gorgeous. Why didn't I appreciate myself back then? Look at that kid. He's so
Alon, you look the same, buddy.
His
I gotta
skin
say,
looks
yeah.
so good, and it's even on like a little cell phone picture. The skin is. Oh, I still have that shirt. I
Oh.
love that shirt.
Sorry.
I think I still have
Sorry
it.
to hear.
I
Can
love
you just get
that
it right
shirt.
now?
My wife is begging me every year. She's like, "You gotta get rid of that shirt." Like, I love that
That's
shirt.
so funny. That is so funny.
So maybe I did get rid of the shirt like this year.
All right, so I'll go next.
Yes.
Okay, you go, Jules.
So I actually, if you guys remember, I stayed in Israel. So I stayed for the next group. So I was there for a total of 9 months.
Wow.
And I had quit my job, my first job out of college to go. And then I came back and I ended up going to grad school at NYU and started working at NYU.
Oh my gosh.
And then in
For what? What'd you study?
College administration. So I worked in the Office of Student Activities. I was the assistant director there. And then I moved to back, because I went to University of Maryland undergrad, so I moved back to Maryland. Who's joining?
Abby.
Abby.
Dr.
Abby.
The doctor.
Dr. Abby.
This is weird.
This is weird. Yeah.
Hang on, buddy.
I never forgot we had a doctor in the house now.
Yeah, of course. Hello. What's a Jewish group without a doctor in the house?
Oh,
This is not Ezra.
Like a joke, you got a doctor, a rabbi, and a mayor.
Yeah, we're good.
Like a joke
These are
sense,
my
isn't it?
people.
A doctor, a rabbi, and mayor
No,
going
you
to a
haven't
Zoom
met
call.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's
My
finish the story.
microphone's
Let's
a
finish the story.
teensy bit big for a drawer, for a case.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not fully. Well,
Sorry. Julie, continue. Sorry.
well, it's a bit.
I'm curious, what's he talking about? So then I moved back here to Maryland. I'm in Rockville, and I started working for Johns Hopkins, but a school in one of the divisions in Washington, D.C. So I'm there now, and have been working there for almost 20 years.
Oh my God.
Yes. So
Wow.
I have a husband that I knew from college, and
How
two
cute.
girls, 10
Aw.
and 13.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you meet your husband like reintroduce later? Like how did you?
No, we were kind of on a break when we were in Israel.
Oh, weird.
Right, Jen? Jen Byrne?
Right. Yeah. Radio.
Abby, we see your stomach. And now, okay, now we're going upwards. Okay, there we go. To the top.
And now I'm in Rockville, not too far from Jen, but Jen, I know we said we were going to get together more.
Was the last time you got together in 2015
And
when we
my
all saw
kids
each
are
other?
really, all they ever did was talk about your backyard.
Oh my God.
And I saw they came down. The house
Yeah,
is
just
just down.
this week. But you have to let it go.
Yeah.
So I was
Ezra,
there.
mommy's on a Zoom meeting. Can you, what? You want this? Okay. Can you go inside though?
next.
Okay, no problem. Sorry.
Oh,
Should I go
did forget
next?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that I moved from San Diego from 95, 98 to Denver and Boulder, Colorado, and 98 to 2001 to Fairfax, Virginia.
Oh wait, Ezra.
So I
Yeah.
figured my way around and then came back here and met my husband at a Rockin' Shabbat, a Jewish single service at the synagogue, Betham, in Del Mar.
Ezra, can you go inside, please?
That's why we do them.
That's why you have the single service. Thank you. If it wasn't for you, Alon.
We'll hope you'll take each other home. Take each other home. Come back. Then join the synagogue later with your kids.
I didn't marry a Jew.
Good for you.
I married a
Neither did I.
Catholic.
There we go.
I didn't either, but my
The three of us.
my house is.
Alon, Rick, and me.
Nice.
Cute.
I was wearing my Bart Simpson shirt that says "I got high in Israel."
Nice.
For life, I got high. Oh my gosh.
Should I go next?
Yeah, Sharon, and you beautiful background. Is that your house?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
That's a
Thank you.
preloaded background with Zoom.
I know.
No, I swear.
Like a loaded Zoom.
Oh, that's great.
That is awesome. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, this is our little piece of heaven. Yeah, for sure.
You mustn't say heaven in law.
How come, buddy? Sorry, I'm getting schooled by my 9-year-old. So left the kibbutz, went back to University of Maryland, graduated, moved to New York, worked in, I think everybody will find it funny, in fashion. I think that's what in our inscription, in our I think at the end, like everybody wrote a little something, and a few
Yes.
times
Oh, those cards. Oh, I don't know where I'm gonna go look for mine now.
Oh my God.
I know where they are.
I
don't know where those
Someone wrote, like, a few people wrote, like, my career in fashion, which I thought was funny. Anyway, so yeah, it was pretty cool. I worked at Cosmo magazine and then Elle magazine.
Wow.
And I got to travel and go to fashion shows and stuff like that. It was cool. It was cool. But shortly, after 5 years, I was like, okay, there's got to be something more than this. And I decided to get my master's in social work. I went back home to Miami where my family lived. My older sister was having her first baby, so I decided to be there for that. And that's when I met my husband. And my parents were so excited because they were like, yes, she met someone here. She's going to stay here. And he was studying animation at the time, or he was getting his master's in animation.
I was a production baby, like my brother.
Yeah, that's right, buddy.
We worked on a movie.
And then he started getting jobs in film, and we started traveling like all over the world. We lived in New Zealand. We lived in Toronto. Our firstborn was born in London. As a social worker, I worked for Jewish Family Services with Holocaust survivors, which was amazing. Very, very amazing. And then once we had our oldest son, Leo, in London, we figured, all right, I think it's time to put some roots down. And we've kind of been all over California, like LA, and hopefully San Diego is it. We've been here for about 1.5 years, and yeah, pretty happy. And we have 2 boys, 2 amazing fellas. Leo, who's 12, and Ezra is 9. And that's all.
That's awesome.
I have another picture for you. Let's see. Wait. Jerry.
Oh my God, everybody.
Oh my God.
Toga party.
Take some shirts
I
on.
love it.
A lot of you guys have since then.
H to the Izzo, V to the Izze.
Do we own shirts?
Oh my
Like,
God.
we're not allowed to.
I don't think I owned any clothes. As Lori says it, everybody saw me.
You know what I was thinking about, guys, leading up to this call is how much, like, toxicity we did, or at least me, to our livers buying, like, 2 shekel wine at that little market and, like, drinking a bottle of it. I was like, what was I doing? And vodka in plastic bottles. Like, the hoochiest booze you could ever find in the world.
The pubs.
I'm just paying 5 shekels for it now.
What were the pubs, the underground things? What were those called? That's something shelters, the bomb shelters.
The bomb shelters.
Bomb shelters, yeah.
Yeah.
And those cards that you had? Yeah, Justin wrote down on mine, don't drop the soap. Somehow we ended the shower. I ended up taking a shower with Stacy. I apparently had too much fun on that trip.
Look at Dave.
Okay, I'll just say now, Jen, you can break out your pictures now if you want.
Yeah, there's so many.
Jen, you want to tell us your story, Mama? Of what you've been up to since you left?
Okay.
Your 5-minute brief.
All right. Sadly came home, did not want to be here. And then went back like 6 months later, and Josh and I dated for a little while. So
Rare.
I went back to Israel, and we, I don't know, I saw him for a week, and then I came back here and got a job doing design and for a newspaper. But it was, and that's where I met my husband.
You're in the Maryland area?
What's that?
You're in Maryland too?
Maryland, yeah, Silver Spring. So worked at this newspaper. We really liked each other, but I wouldn't date him because he wasn't Jewish. So for a year we were just sort of like friends, but everybody knew we really liked each other. And then anyway, I just finally said, you know what? I think this is the guy for me. And we, anyway, the rest of this history, we dated for another 5 years. I went from sorry, I'm really bad at this.
No, you're good. We're all
No,
interested.
I'm in
Take your time.
Toastmasters. I've got to learn how to speak. So went from the newspaper to the National Gallery, where I did all these exhibitions. I went from like designing all this little tiny stuff to like designing big, and got
Amazing.
got the love of, I really honed my skill, but realized it wasn't creative. So I went to work for another museum in DC, where basically if you had an idea, you could go with it. The National Gallery, while it's amazing, it was not creative. So then went to do all the design work for this other museum, started to freelance, formed my own company for doing branding. Been doing that for 13 years. I formed the company got married.
I love you, Jen.
Whatever. That had Grace, then had Leo, and realized I can't work full time.
You have Leo too?
Yeah, I think we talked about this. Yeah, I have Grace is 16 and Leo is 14. And so after Leo was born, that was when I sort of went on my own to do this full time. And then missed working with my hands. So that's when I started building those houses in my backyard.
Oh, amazing.
So, yeah, it's been great. So I then formed a company after I realized, oh my God, like this is really fun. I built these playhouses. They're like little mini stores. So we built one. It was a beauty salon. She loved it. Then Leo wanted a candy shop. Then the next summer I'm like, well, I want a diner, so we'll do that. And then I was like, oh my God, these kids are like playing in and out. And like, then I thought, God, this could be a business. So hired somebody to build it into a kit. And that was the fourth one that came. And then I don't know, formed a company and we since put it in a JCC in Baltimore. And I don't know. So I'm kind of doing that on the side while.
What's the company? I can imagine.
It's called Little Main Street Playhouses.
Little Main Street. That sounds very cool.
Yeah.
And it's still going. It's still going. You're still doing it.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I have the company that's the design that makes the money, and the company that sends it out, which is like Playhouses. I have never had time to do any of the work, so it's sort of hanging here waiting for me to have time. But I need to make the first business sustainable. So I've got these business mentors telling me all the time, like, stop making stuff, start selling. I'm like, it's not that. I just have this other business to run when I haven't figured out how to do that in a way where I can have extra time to put to this other one. But it's been really, the town that we build at the Park Heights JCC in Baltimore has been super successful. It's called J-Town. And it was really a proof of concept. And then I found a manufacturer actually in California after going through so many people who wouldn't build it for me. And then I remember them going, oh my God, yeah, we'll build it. I was like, for real? Okay, I'm coming out to meet you. And I just need to see, this was like a while ago. And I don't know, it was a crazy trip. And the guy, I met with him, I looked him face to face and I was like, just like, if I put this out there at this price, you'll build them for me, right? And so he's like, yeah. He's like, and then I don't know.
Bobby's
anyway,
calling. It's okay. Call her later, or you can talk to her. Oh, thanks. Okay.
Anyway,
it's amazing.
It's coming. It's coming. They're actually doing a lot of other kind of manufacturing for this COVID thing right now, so they're on hold with Playhouses, but it's coming at some point. Yeah. So
they are super, super cool.
Amazing.
I definitely want to see this.
I know, me too.
Wait till you guys hear who's coming in now. You guys wait till you see who's coming in now. Okay, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Here's Andreas.
Oh my God! Wow.
I set up another Zoom call if we get dropped in 2 minutes.
Andreas! Woo!
Who's there?
Same.
Andreas.
It's Andreas.
No
He's in
way!
Switzerland.
Hi,
Yes.
from San Diego.
How are you?
Oh my God, he has a beard and everything.
Wait a second. I'm having
Wow.
problems here with my. Give me a second. I cannot hear you the way I want. How is everybody?
Okay.
Good.
We're good.
We're good.
We're
just
good.
fun around.
We're going through everyone's story of what they've done since they left the kibbutz.
Thanks, Alon. Thanks for letting me know that.
I just forgot.
Am I?
You know, like, I think there was Bono and then there was Andreas at some point.
Both
I just
mono.
didn't know what the
mono.
words were then.
What?
I didn't have the words for it. That's probably what it was. I'm looking at you like, oh yeah.
What am I missing?
Didn't know about
Look
that
at
one.
the chat. Look at the chat.
I didn't realize it until just now.
Where's the chat?
Either the bottom, you can click
The
chat.
bottom.
On the bottom, you can click.
Okay.
All right, so Dave, Ben, who wants to go first of you guys?
I'll go. I guess I'll go next.
Okay.
You go next.
I love you.
I'll just interrupt you like I always do.
Alon, you're
So-
hilarious.
Unless Alon wants to elaborate.
I think everyone's first crush.
So I remember, like the rest of, one of the things I remember about the kibbutz is that the guys were in two different houses, and somehow all the nerds landed up in one house for some reason. Dave and myself and Aaron and Eli, right? And so to like watch everybody else sort of party from afar, even though the four of us had the whole house to ourselves. And
I don't know. Dancing Dave was much a partier in my
that's
book.
true. I forgot about Dave, actually. I forgot about Dancing Dave.
I'll elaborate on that soon, but I'll let Ben have it.
So, but who had the little blurb everybody wrote about to everybody else that Jen had?
Yeah.
Everybody of mine wrote, don't worry, Ben, you'll find a life or something like that. It was so surprised how much everybody knew what was
I
going on.
want you to scan the barcode. I don't know how. I can't talk to you right now. I'll help you later. You can ask Daddy.
So, but anyway, so since the kibbutz, I came back and I started teaching, which I've been doing since then. I've been teaching.
What do you teach? What grade?
High school science. High school science. I've done all biology, chemistry, earth science, AP environmental, forensics, astronomy.
Ooh, that's awesome.
What you do from Amazon?
And after a few years, I tried the suburbs, and I've been back in the city for about 10 years or so.
Oh,
Mike.
New York City? Are you in New York City?
Amazon now. I want you to do on Amazon.
2008, I got married to my
Why
wife
are you
Edith.
supposed to hold it?
Most of you met my daughter Shoshana about 5 years ago in 2011.
Do I know these peeps?
Unfortunately, my wife and I are splitting. Shoshana's with my wife today.
Janice,
So I'm still
why
teaching.
are you doing?
Sharon, can you
Barcode's
mute? It's
here.
hard to, it says a
sorry.
lot
I'm
of-
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Whose birthday is it today?
Alon's.
Alon's
Are we going
birthday.
to sing?
We did the
Now that
singing
you're
earlier.
again,
We
we'll
can do it
sing
again.
Did we? So
Maybe
did we
we'll let
celebrate your
Pastor
birthday?
beat.
Did we celebrate your birthday in the kibbutz?
No. I think we were there like in June,
No.
right? I think it
It
would
wouldn't
have
have been
been.
the right time of the year.
My
We're in
birthday
August.
is tomorrow, and I remember we did celebrate mine.
June. Yeah, May 31st. No, we wouldn't have been there at that point.
I think we were.
I think
No,
I was,
we
cel-
weren't
I was
because
celebrating
I was
my own
working
birthday
until
every
then,
day.
so-
At the kibbutz.
No.
Okay, that's a good point.
All right, folks, and Dave, where'd you go?
When you're ready,
There.
James.
Okay, so 93, I was older than all of you. I was 24, 2 years out of college. I, like Ben, got my teaching license. I was subbing for a couple of years. Then I ended up working, I think, in a private school first, and then ended up going to the board of it as well. In 97, I guess it was, I met my wife. Well, we didn't get married right away. We met in 97. And then we got married in 99, which was just a couple years later. I got to live in New York City. She was working in private school as well, a teacher. We met through Israeli folk dancing, big shock there. We lived in New York City. She was working in a private school in New York City at the time. So I got to live in New York City for 3 years, and it was a 1-bedroom apartment in a nice building for very low rent because it was through like a grant through the school that they wanted the teachers to live there. So it was just living the high life. Seriously, it was just great. Got to be in New York State from '99. 2001. I remember we found out that Diane was pregnant. Of course, the morning that we found out was pregnant was September 11th, 2001. So that's how we had that day. So we were in New York City when that happened, but then we ended up moving out to the suburbs. Elon is now 18. He's a senior in high school who has to deal with what's going on right now. Graduation will be virtual on Monday next week, and he's going to college locally here. And I have another son, Aaron, who's 16. And about we were living in Manhattan, but then we moved out to Queens right around the time Elon was born. We moved to Queens, and then we moved to Long Island, and we did the schooling there. But about 3 years ago, my wife turned a certain age, and we sort of realized that we were not doing so great financially, and we weren't so crazy with our jobs. She was working in a private yeshiva. I moved from New York State to yeshiva as well because I just couldn't deal with the New York State school system anymore. But the yeshiva wasn't so crazy about that. So we basically decided, she applied to jobs up and down the East Coast. She got a job in Vermont, and 3 years later, we're in Vermont. So we've been in Vermont for about 3 years. Here's my view, just so you can see. So yeah, it's really beautiful up here. We do miss New York, but we have family and friends there. We go, up until now, we're going like pretty much every school vacation. The kids miss their friends, but we're happy here. And I feel honestly like I have two homes, which I feel is a blessing in some way, because I have still have connections in New York, and we're making connections here. And I see Jen a lot right now through Israeli folk dancing virtually, because I got back. This one good thing, so to speak, about this COVID thing is that, get to do Zoom Israeli folk dancing, and, just to connect with people that way. And I feel that's at least a good thing that's coming out of like all the social isolation. So getting back into one of my old hobbies, so to speak. So, because it was dropped when the boys were little, and now I'm picking it up again. So, and we're hoping to take the kids on a birthright trip in the next couple of years, but haven't been there in many years, unfortunately. So.
And Sharon and I are still hoping for a reunion in San Diego.
Yeah.
I found another picture here. Let's see. Wait. Julie and Jerry from Gabby getting those cards and stuff.
Oh, Gabby.
Yeah.
Gabby.
There you go. I just downloaded all the pictures that we have to look at.
Shirt like Alon, but I know what belongs in the trash. Sorry, buddy. Love you, Rabbi.
My wife bought me this shirt for my birthday. Like, she knows. She knows what I'm.
That's a good one.
Floral is.
Abby, you haven't even said a word. Take off your microphone.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm working difficulties. I was going to switch my laptop from my iPad. So I'm going to cut this one off and then come in on my iPad, on my computer.
Okay.
So hold on 1 second.
All right. While you do that, I'll show this one.
They're very hard to see.
Awesome.
Can you guys see that one? Wait, where'd Andreas?
Oh, yeah, it's me.
Andreas there.
You need to post all these to Facebook.
Yeah, well, they're on.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're on Kibbutz, the Yagur site. Wait.
I can't
Well, you
remember.
have to transfer them to your computer and then share your screen.
How many of us were
I can
at?
just log on to Facebook. Yeah,
I can't
guess
remember
do that.
who was at the reunion in New York, New Jersey.
I was there.
When was that actually? It was 10 years ago or when was
2014.
it? 5 years ago?
2014.
6 years ago. She said 2014.
2014, yeah, 2014,
Yeah.
and then the second was
All right.
2015.
Oh, wait a minute, Jen. What day was the reunion on?
What did we say, June 8th or June 9th or something?
Yeah, it's right around the same time of year as now. That's funny.
Yeah, right. Somebody said that. Yeah.
Oh. That's great.
Okay, so who hasn't spoken yet?
Just
Abby's still trying to get.
Abby hasn't spoken yet. Yeah, wait for
Abby,
Abby.
Andreas.
And
Oh,
Andreas.
Andreas hasn't spoken yet. It's
No.
dark over there, Andreas.
It is. Well, it's the middle of the night, right? It's 10 to 10
Yeah.
already. I should be in bed. The monsters are coming out soon.
They're here.
Where are the monsters?
Right.
You have children too, then?
Yes, I do. I have 2 children. They're not here. I'm at a friend's place actually, so I cannot stay all too long. But to give you a brief summary, so when was that? 93, 94. I went back from Israel to study chemistry in Zurich, and so I did that, and I did a PhD, and then after my PhD, I went to work in Berkeley for a few years at UC Berkeley, and so I stayed there from 2002 until 2005. And during that time, so I met my wife in 2000, and in 2005 my son was born in Berkeley still. And so from there we moved to Berlin, where a year after my daughter was born, and then we stayed in Berlin until 2009, and then we moved back to Switzerland, which was more or less a coincidence because there was a job opening for me at a university. So these are all academic jobs. Right? So I was working at UC Berkeley, and then I was working at the Research Institute in Berlin, and now I'm at a university in the French part of Switzerland, where I do research and teach physical chemistry or chemical physics, whatever you want to call it. And so my kids by now, my kids are turning 14 and 15 in July, both of them, and they're good, they're fun. They're no longer that exhausting. Gets better, and even during the Corona horror, it was okay because they wanted to be on their own, and we wanted to be on our own, so it was perfect. It was a good understanding.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yes.
Looking forward.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is your
the
wife
short version?
Is your wife Swiss or?
Yes, she's
Swiss?
Swiss.
Is that a term? Swiss?
Swiss? Of
That's
course,
a term,
that's my
that's the name of
nationality.
I think
Swiss
Swiss,
is a
I think it's Swiss
nationality.
cheese. So
Why
she's
do you
not
think it's
American?
called
I
Swiss
mean,
cheese?
you met her in the States,
I met her in Zurich. And,
okay.
And then, but she moved to California with me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, nice.
And,
I think we should all invite ourselves to the ceremony when Andreas gets the Nobel Prize. That's what I'm doing that right now. Count me in.
I'm committing. I'm committing to that as well.
Andreas,
that might take a while. But
do you ever come out to Oak Ridge? Have you ever done any work at Oak Ridge here?
No, I have never done that.
Okay, give me a ring if you ever come out to the lab. I have a lot of my congregants are at the lab doing very similar work.
Okay. Well, let me take. So if you look at my virtual background now, this is a picture of my lab. Right?
Oh my gosh.
Cover myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
So this is the kind of experiments we're doing. These are steel tubes, and we create a vacuum inside, and then we dump molecules in, and we study chemical reactions in there, and we control what's going on. So we orient the molecules in space, and we do all kinds of stuff. And we're doing very, very fundamental research, trying to really understand the basics of what a chemical reaction is, and what the different molecules do and what their properties are, and that kind of stuff.
Oh my boy Leo would love to hang out with you, Andreas.
Well, he should come. Tell him to come by.
He's a little he's really into science too.
Yeah, he's welcome to visit.
Okay. Can I come with him?
You're into TikTok.
Sure. So, where are you actually? Are you in the LA area as well, or?
Sorry.
Sharon? Where are you?
I'm in San Diego.
San Diego. Okay. All right.
With me. Well, not with me.
Uh-oh. Where did you? Did this look like New York City or something?
No. I thought you were in LA. I thought you were
in LA? No.
Yeah.
Sometimes
the sky's too blue for LA.
How about people? Well, Jerry's not outside. Just the background.
I know, Jerry. It's so tropical where you are.
I want everyone to relax as I think about riots and looting, which I'll have to turn back.
Exactly.
I know. I have my hair in the background so you can see the back of my hair.
We had major looting last night, about 10 minutes, in the neighboring city in Scottsdale. Fortunately, no one was hurt, as far as I know, but we're getting prepared for what could be a difficult night. So
Crazy.
before this call, the reason I was late, I was on the phone with our police chief and head administrative person who's in charge of the chief. So just crazy times.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. You have a big, huge responsibility, Jerry.
No, yeah, it's
crazy.
not. It's crazy times between COVID and like how that got politicized here. You know, which I saw kind of in slow motion. Like I don't know how it got to be a political thing, whether you put a mask on or not. It's like I guess now it's political whether you decide to use a Kleenex or just blow your boogers on everybody. Like what the hell? But that's
Have you seen the funny mask jokes? They said if you wear the mask and you don't cover your nose, it's like wearing the condom but with the tip cut off or something to that effect. Or the underwear
You're not supposed to
thing hanging out or something.
You're wrong.
I would only expect that analogy.
I know.
Exactly.
That's
funny.
Wearing masks, actually?
It's Red Jen.
It is Red Jen.
Wear masks,
wearing
I
masks in the U.S. or?
They do, but yeah, but it's become like a political issue for some crazy reason. Where some people like. Pardon?
How so? How is that political? Like, how is it? Oh.
It's
Oh.
politicized.
Are you anti-establishment if you don't wear a mask?
I have a congregant who owns a pet food store, and someone came in and they were like, "You have to wear a mask to come in," and the guy's like, "I'm not buying anything from sheep anyway."
What?
Yeah. And also, Andreas, the masks we have here are just cloth homemade masks. They don't have any medical masks available in America.
Oh, really? Still?
There are 10 of them.
Okay.
Probably 10 somewhere.
Because we don't import stuff from China anymore. So we all have Chinese masks now.
Right. Is it as where is Switzerland like in the COVID? Are you guys nice?
Where on the curve you mean? Or
are you
wait, let me get my
guys
mask.
still like on lockdown and all that
no,
craziness?
it's everything. It's pretty much opening up again completely next week. So I mean, we are a little bit ahead of where you are.
Yeah.
Things have been controlled, you know, in a somewhat more reasonable fashion than in the U.S.
What happened with schooling in Switzerland? Is it because in the U.S. it's pretty schools like your kids? Where are they school online or are they school?
Yeah, so the schools were completely closed until 2 weeks ago, and then 2 weeks ago they opened halfways. So the kids went every other day, basically.
Oh wow!
And starting Tuesday, so tomorrow is a holiday, and then starting Tuesday the schools will be back to normal.
Wow.
And during the lockdown they had you know, depending on the school, actually they did online schooling, or they did just a little bit of online schooling, occasional meetings, or they did nothing, or so it was very different. But all the online stuff that was done, at least for my kids, was more to keep them busy. I mean, there was nothing serious. And anyway, I mean, the kids knew, you know, the kids knew that the school year was over because they were not going to have any more tests. And without tests, I mean, you know, why would they care? So they just enjoyed themselves, and which was okay. You know, we didn't have a problem with that.
It does cover the nose and the mouth, though, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I miss? I looked away for a split second. What did I miss?
Oh, you didn't see it? Oh my God. I gotta go to the side.
Just imagine it.
I've already
We'll take the screenshot now.
Yeah.
Okay. Jen wearing the mask.
Which is recording.
It must have been crazy
I hope
for
that
you,
they're
David
clean.
and Ben, during this whole time with schooling, huh? Were you guys like doing all your
There you go.
online teaching?
I'm teaching special ed right now, so I am online a lot.
That is
I have a
awesome.
lot of kids. I'm one-on-one because of I guess it's FERPA laws that I can't have two kids on at a time, because a parent from one of the children can walk in and see who the other child is.
Oh my
So the
gosh,
privacy rights
we
have
don't
to be
have that.
protected. So I have to see my kids all separately. So I'm very busy.
Wow.
That's
I
pretty
sort
amazing.
of
though.
get upset at my kids because my kids at their school, because my younger son, who's a 10th grader right now, he doesn't have any teachers meeting him online at this point. And like one just started once a week, like 2 weeks ago. And the other one, because he's older and he's taking like, I guess it's an AP class, the teacher feels he has to be with them once a week. But I'm just a little bit upset, like why, because they're just getting thrown busy work, and sort of like, I guess what Andreas is having as well. They're just being told, do this work, and they do very little direct teaching, and I'm just really not happy with it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm working, seeing my kids all the time. So, I just wonder like that there should be more of that going on. So, but this is the last week, so I'm glad that it's over in that way. So, as for the kids, they don't have to deal.
Dave,
I mean,
when
who
does your
knows what's
school
gonna happen at the end
finish?
of August, but.
Guys, I have a bar mitzvah tutor in a few minutes, so I'm gonna have to start saying goodbye.
Jen, did you have any more
wouldn't have
pictures
scheduled
that you
it
need to
except
show
that I thought it
Alon?
was really short.
We're gonna send it to privately. Yeah, Alon,
That's
Jen
one
has a
recorded.
picture. Apparently, we will forward it and have to pass it to you privately.
I would love pictures of me that just make me depressed.
I don't think it's a depressing picture,
Hold them
though.
up to the mirror and make myself depressed. That'll be great. Could you send me some of those?
No, it's not a depressing picture.
Are you going to share the video? Actually, I just realized that this is being recorded. Why are you doing it?
Yeah, well, because I told Dan and Rick I would record it and send it to them, and whoever. Well, that's why I think we're texting any information that we don't want to say on the recording, and because we have kids around here too.
I see.
Oh.
By the way, when Alon really wants to go or needs to go, he says he has to go sit Shiva with someone. That's the time I use.
The bar mitzvah, like I can put off a couple minutes, but Shiva's gotta go. I had a cognitive type of heart attack 2 weeks ago. It was awful. It was just.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll just say what the picture is, Alon. Jen has a picture. She took a picture, and I believe the night before we all left to go home, of you, me, and Rick in my bedroom with Abby and Hillary. Abby, do you remember this at all?
Oh, it's probably like, yeah.
And apparently, we put 2 beds together. We were all sleeping.
Yeah, it's not that intimidating. That's fine.
Aren't you glad this is recorded on?
I've got 4 years of recovery under my belt. I'm fine.
It's all kosher. It's all kosher. He had the mascot note.
One quick question before you go. Are you doing virtual services now?
Yeah, we have worship almost every day, Shabbat services. This bar mitzvah is in 2 weeks, so we're going to try to make it as normal as possible on Zoom.
Aww.
Real sweet kid, but who's not very musical. It's going to be interesting. His brothers were worse. So, okay, guys, have a wonderful.
Thank
this
you.
Is if I
So good to see you, Rabbi.
Good to see you.
Bye, Rabbi.
Stay in touch.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, so I just wanted to say how great it is to see everybody. I apologize, I have to leave soon. I wanted to give one quick update. When I was living in New York, it's been a while now, but it was about 10 years ago, I spent some time with Jeremy, my old roommate, Jeremy Lair. And he's still he's such a sweetheart. He's living in Brooklyn. He's was really into meditation and Buddhism and just the same quiet, gentle soul. At the time, he wasn't feeling great. He had some health issues, but what a sweet guy. So anyway,
cool.
Have you been in touch with him since or recently or?
No, not really. I mean, he's still, he was always kind of a shy person, and I think he's still that way. But it was just nice to be with him. Just have the same.
I remember him. I do remember him. Just like a gentle soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's awesome to see you guys.
Oh my God.
Me too.
And I'm sorry to jet out early, but
Maybe we can do this again the end of the summer or something. Yeah, we don't have to fly anyway. We can save
We should
money.
do this again in a couple of 2 weeks.
Andreas, who's this?
It's not mine. It's on your
That
side.
was
I
for you
think.
to put that cow.
You got somebody emerging
behind
from
the
the
cow.
ocean there.
Lots of love, guys. Be well, everyone.
Bye, Jerry.
See you.
Bye.
Okay, Abby, we don't know
Abby?
where Kenny's at. We've been
Yeah,
looking
we
for
haven't-
Kenny
Want to
since
hear for you.
2013. But we don't know about your life. How's your doctor life?
Wonderful.
My daughter just took my mouse, so hopefully she doesn't change.
My life's probably less different than most people's in the sense that I still go to work. And I have more social contact because I go to work and I work with my friends. So it's less isolating, I think, than everybody else.
Yeah.
But I mean, work itself is different for sure. The hospital is now divided so that there's a clean building and a COVID/dirty building.
Oh my gosh.
So now we have two. I work in the intensive care unit. So now there's two separate medical intensive care units: the COVID unit and the non-COVID unit.
And which unit are you in?
Where are you?
It just depends what week.
Oh.
So yeah, like last week, I guess or the week before last, I was in the COVID unit. It's just I'm so over it. It's
Are you scared for your
depressing
life
and
when you go
boring
to
and
work every day?
everything's the same. Am I scared?
Yeah.
No, not really.
How busy, like, has it gone down any, or is it still crazy?
It's kind of plateaued, but I live in Western Mass, so the population isn't so dense. So it was scary at first because we were, our census was increasing exponentially, and then it plateaued. And it increases by dribs and drabs, and then a whole bunch of people die.
Oh God, that must be intense, Abby.
Well, as you guys might have heard at the beginning, the thought was to intubate people and put them on ventilators early on, because they were only going to get worse. But then they never come off. They're on for weeks and weeks and weeks. So people got smarter about it, and they do this thing where it's called self-proning, and they have patients lie on their stomachs because it helps significantly. And using oxygen and non-invasive ventilation, a lot of people don't end up having to come to the ICU. So either if they come to the ICU, it's because they failed that, or they were way too sick at the beginning. So what happened was the rest of the hospital was getting more patients. We were just getting fewer of them. But our schedules changed radically, for better and worse. I used to have to be at the hospital regardless of whether I had clinical responsibility. But now I only have to be there if I'm on service. So I'm home a lot more, which is what I would have wanted, but it's also, careful what you wish for. Because, I don't know. It's just now we're in the hospital 24/7. So it's become shift work, and the whole job is ever changing. So I used to have a job like this. When I started, I worked just nights, and then I had shift work job, and then I came to Western Mass where I have a more normal job in the sense that it's most of the time Monday through Friday, some nights, some weekends. But
what city are you in, Abby?
So actually, it's funny. I live in this city that Josh grew up in. I live in Longmeadow, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Which is where PJ Library is from.
Yeah. I'm sure we all know PJ Library.
Yeah.
Started by Harold Grinspoon, who is single-handedly keeps the Jewish community in Western Massachusetts going. He is actually Josh's stepfather.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Can I just chime in here? Because it all comes full circle. So when I was building J-Town in the JCC in Baltimore, they had me they said, the only thing we need you to do, a special building is a PJ library. And I didn't know about what that was. And so I started searching online for like the colors so I could do the building in blue. And then I'm like, Harold Grinspoon, how does that, oh my God, Josh, holy cow. So we made the first physical PJ library as a little Main Street playhouse at the JCC in Baltimore.
That is so cool.
Like, it's kind of like crazy town, like how that all.
Well, it was funny because when we were visiting here and figuring out where to live, we went to the JCC, and his name's on it. And I was like, wait a minute, that name sounds really familiar. And I figured it out pretty quickly. But
and when he
Can
came,
I just interrupt? I have to leave as well.
Oh my God!
I was saying goodbye. It's been great seeing everybody. So is Rick getting this video? You said, Jen?
Yeah, Rick, I spoke with him
Very good.
yesterday. I spoke with Dan a
Rick,
few
next
days
time
ago.
you have to be here. We have to sing Communication Breakdown together. So I'm expecting you to be on the meeting as well. All right.
And also
Otherwise,
Jamie X, who's been
great
trying to get
seeing
back
everybody.
in. He was logged on, but still trying to get back in.
Good
All
to
right.
see you, Andreas.
Bye, Andreas.
Bye-bye,
Good to see y'all.
Andreas.
Everybody. Take
Bye,
care.
Andreas.
See you. Bye-bye.
Abby, I used to go to Camp Berman.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And I used to go to the Long Meadow Nursing Home while I was in camp.
Aw.
And we used to go there all the
I
time.
think you mean the one that's near the JCC?
I don't know. It's probably long gone by now because it was
Oh,
years
I
ago.
don't know about that.
But my kids, my daughter, she's not going this summer because it's closed, but I sent my daughter to Camp Berman. She's been 2 years already. Yeah.
Abby,
Yeah, we're
who's
still
taking
waiting.
care
My
of your
kids go
kids
to
when you're
JCC
working?
summer camp, so I still don't know whether that's happening or not. Where are my kids when I'm working?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. They're either home with our babysitter, who a lot of babysitters have become available because
They have no jobs.
Right. So this one who had left us long ago was available, and so that makes it really much easier because they love her.
How
But,
old are your kids, Abby?
8 and 10.
Oh, like not really, like around.
So they're in 2nd and 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I got divorced about a year ago. So they're with their father half the week. Usually that's before all this happened. Usually that's when I would be on call in the hospital at night, and the weekends that I would work, they'd be with him. But and they would go to like the JCC after school for aftercare. But obviously that's all turned upside down.
Crazy.
But I do get to spend more time with them with all of this going on, so that's good. Because one of the things that I always complained about this job was that we have to swipe in, which to me is like I might as well work at McDonald's. The idea I have to swipe. I don't have to swipe out. It's sort of like attendance. It's really ridiculous. So now I don't have to do that, but of course now I want things to go back to the way they were. So
I don't work. I take care of Madeline, help with the homeschool. I got her a tutor. Mike luckily is able to work from home. He's a computer guy, information technology guy. I do the laundry and the dishes. I watch TV.
Yeah, I do all those things too.
It's really so dance. I belly dance now. Have you guys all
that.
seen my belly dancing? I don't know if you've seen. Whatever else, yeah.
In fact, that's why I was late to the call this morning. It's a
Because you were
beautiful
belly
day
dancing?
here. No, I was not belly dancing. I definitely was not belly dancing. Jen and Julie, one of the things that's really nice about here is most of the time it's not humid here. I live near the Berkshire Mountains. I don't live actually in the mountains. I live in the valley, but most of the time it's cool and breezy here. It's a gorgeous day.
Here
so
too.
I was outside in my backyard. I wouldn't call it gardening, but cleaning up. And that's why I was late to the call.
Happy. That's nice.
Good reason.
I did play tennis today.
What?
I did play tennis today, outside. One exercise for maybe a month.
Actually, you'll appreciate this. So my son was supposed to start lacrosse this spring, but that was canceled. And because he started hockey this winter, and he took to it, so now he wanted to do lacrosse. And that didn't happen, but I got an email yesterday that somebody was giving away a free regulation size lacrosse goal. So I went to that person's house to get it, and it turned out it was Bryn Cartelli's house. Do you guys know who Bryn Cartelli is?
I don't know, but it sounds familiar.
She's the one that a couple years back at 14 won The Voice.
Yes.
Crazy.
I don't know any of those winners. American Idol, but I don't know the other ones.
Yeah.
This is the
Anyways.
voice. I know.
So that was exciting.
That's cool.
But,
Okay, I got you the picture.
Oh, cool.
Was that a
Oh, that was the last
That
year.
was a few years ago.
I took that picture.
Yeah.
I took that picture. I remember.
Well, when this whole
Abby
thing
and
is over,
Jen.
I never got to make it to a reunion, a physical reunion. But when this whole thing is over, I
It
really
was just
hope we
mentally,
get
though. That was the
together.
important thing.
But so that night, Abby and Jen stayed in one bed. Stacy Schwartz Pop stayed in the other bed. X, Jamie, whatever, and Josh stayed in the middle room, and Mal and I stayed in the other room. And Abby, Jen, do you remember I had the video camera of Madeline? She was sleeping, she was a baby. I had the baby cam. So she's sleeping. She used to not sleep with any clothes on, and she was 2.5. And I had the camera in here. She
I wonder
rolled
why.
over. So it was laying like this. We were hysterically laughing. And then I had Dan Pinkert. I made him so his room was across away from ours. So he came over in the middle because he forgot some bag or something. So he came over and we're like, oh, Dan. Everybody. Anyways, we had a lot of fun. And we got to see Hillary in the morning.
Good.
That was a mistake.
Hillary. I don't think I got to see Hillary.
No, because she didn't.
I left early that day. I didn't see all the people. But I got there.
Well, no,
early.
Hillary didn't come over that because of the Shabbos, and she didn't want to get on the call. I think, remember, she has hearing aids. I think it may have been that. I spoke with Lori. She didn't want to get on. She's like, I haven't seen these people in years.
Even though the answer to every question was
The same with Jackie. I spoke with Jackie Van. And
Aw, Jackie.
That's great. You spoke to everybody. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
Oh, she came 6 years ago, I remember. Yeah.
Jackie and I came in together because I was in the city and she lived in the city.
Is she still there?
I don't know. Is Jackie still in the city? Is she?
She was there a couple of years ago.
Just moved to Florida. And I called her.
Wow.
She just moved to Florida. And I'm realizing I'm recording this video. So no,
I
but
guess
I
that's
just
the
spoke to her.
natural
Spoke to
progression,
Lori.
Miami to Florida.
Yeah,
I looked at my Facebook page 6 years ago. I remember talking about this with Jackie when we first see. I taught in the school in Brooklyn when I was first thing. At the time that we had the reunion 6 years ago, she was dating one of my former students. It was really weird.
That's so
I
weird.
really like.
That's so
Actually, I taught in a school where he was.
How old was your former student?
He was younger. It was my first year of teaching public.
This is like a jailbait?
Well, how old would Jackie be? I don't know. Jackie would be around our age, like 40s. Probably maybe at least 10 years difference, I'd say.
Actually, the tutor for Madeline is Lori's niece, Jilly, who lives in Baltimore also. They both live in Baltimore. Yeah, so through Zoom, and we share a screen and everything. She's a really good tutor. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just finished her sophomore year in
Tutor
college.
for what?
For math and reading comprehension. Madeline's,
okay. That's interesting.
Lori put on her Facebook status that her niece is looking for someone to tutor. She can go all the way up to pre-calculus.
Oh, wow.
So, well, Madeline here in second grade can use some help. She's learning how to add 3 numbers together. 3 numbers, 3. Not pre-calculus, but it's the Common Core math. And you can't add the 1, carry the 1.
Oh, the new math or whatever.
My boys have been carrying the one since being
Not the way you
homeschooled.
learned it.
We call it regrouping here in New York, that's all I know.
Oh, not Common Core.
Guys, I'm gonna have to go in a minute because I gotta pick up my daughter.
Okay.
I want to see you guys again.
Me too.
Why don't we just set up for like 3 weeks from now or something? You know?
I miss the person.
Bi-weekly.
That too.
I can't take it. Anyway, I'd love to do a Zoom. Jen, thank you so much for making this happen.
You're welcome. And I don't have to record everyone. It was just like the initial, because everyone's gonna be here.
Yeah.
And I think I have it automatically set up, but
maybe if you could take like even just a screenshot of one where the most of us were here to show the other people that it actually happened, I think they would be more likely to join next time.
Right.
And then,
because I know there are people who did not respond at all. Aaron, Stacy, Tracy.
Stacy, where's Stacy? Where's Stacy?
I think her dad just passed away.
Didn't she? Oh, okay. I think
feel
she's
like-
in New York. Yeah, because she drove
Yeah.
and Justin didn't respond, but they're both in New York because they carpooled together to the reunion in
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah,
I think if they saw all of us,
Mhm.
they would come next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys. I miss you.
Right.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Aw.
Like, it's like we're all the same.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
weird. It's
Just a little older. But you
So
guys
bizarre.
are
At
great.
least I
Hair's a
can
little
say
whiter.
so.
What?
Hair's
Oh
a
wait,
little whiter.
Dancing Dave. I had
Yes.
to. This kind of. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
You could put your leg over your head. At that point.
I can't.
Don't think I can do that now.
I can put
Jen
my
could
arm
probably
out.
do that,
I'll
though.
try and take photos or something, but.
Jen, you have to take pictures of that album. I want to.
I will. It's so great. It's many of the pictures. I think we share a lot of pictures, Jen. Somehow we probably traded them.
Right, and that's where I downloaded all the
that's
pictures from
good.
that thing. Because actually,
Yeah,
Jackie
put 'em
wanted
up,
all the pictures,
put 'em
so
up,
that's why I
put 'em up.
downloaded
Okay.
it. But you're right. I should have made an album and shown them here for everybody, because not everybody's on. The only person that was on Alon was not on Facebook anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has a
Does that have
YouTube
anything to do
thing.
with you? Did you? I hope not.
What?
I was so worried. I don't know what. Whatever. Anyway, I'm not
I
going
mean, the thing is, it was
Wait.
kind of like, okay, you see each other, self-explanatory. You got the memories going. You move on, you know. And the thing is, he was like a side. I'm still recording. It was Rick and me, okay? It was Rick and me. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
leave that though.
I'll let you go from there. But it's so great to see everybody. I'm so. I look forward to next time.
Me too.
Me too.
Bye, Jen.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Good to see you,
Jen.
Mama.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get going too. My boys keep like trying to get my attention, and they're not gonna hold off for much longer.
Jen, why don't you
I
plan?
know Malin keeps saying over here, I'm tired, Mom.
Why don't we just plan for like 3 weeks or something, or 4 weeks or something?
Yeah, sounds good.
That sounds good.
It
I
could
love
be
it.
every 28 days. Who has the cycle of 28 days? Yeah, we're moving into different territory on our end over here.
Abby, when are we going to Dahab again?
That's so funny that you asked, because I was cleaning up the guest room and I found a picture from there. And my son doesn't believe that it's me. I should have brought it. I hardly believe that it was me. It was about a third of me.
When or where was this?
But yeah,
I
no,
know.
that was fun. They
Really, where's this? Yeah.
We climbed up Santa Catarinas. So we climbed up what is it?
Mount Sinai.
Together. We went to
dark
during Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so we went. We took a bus from Tel Aviv to Cairo, and we spent some days in Cairo.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then, right? That was awesome.
That was
And then-
really good.
And
When was
then
that, the last week?
Last
Your
week?
guys is last week. I stayed for another.
Oh, yeah. And
Okay,
then,
You
and
said that's
then
right.
we took a bus from Cairo to what is it, Sharm el Sheikh or whatever.
Yeah.
And then to
And then we hung out on the beach there for a couple days, and we climbed Mount Sinai so that we would get to the top at sunrise.
Yeah.
And then I forget, I guess, I remember you were eager to get back. So we took a bus back to Israel. I can't remember if it was Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. You were so eager to get back. We didn't have seats on that bus. We were either standing or we were like sitting in the aisles or something.
Oh my.
Do you remember we lost the backpack? They thought it was a bomb. They thought it had bomb in it.
Oh
Somebody left the
no.
backpack. Somebody left the backpack on the bus. Yeah.
Remember, one of you left your backpack on a bus during
We finally got it back. It had some important stuff in it.
Yeah.
I think it may have had your passport in it.
Not
Oh
mine.
my gosh.
No.
Yeah. Rick and I had an interesting
Whatever it
trip.
was, it was important.
Yeah.
Last week, I went to Jerusalem with someone, one of you guys, or a few people, girls, and then Rick was with someone else, and he said he wanted to come find me. So we went down to Jerusalem. He says, and this is his story, he went to the wall in the middle of the night, asked if the wall was still open, he can come in. And he ended up having to stay in another hostel, because I was in the hostel with the women. And in the morning, he found me, and I remember looking out the window by him. And then we went on our way for the rest of the week, and we took a bus one night through the night. Well, I was sleepy, and I got up when I went to the stop. And by the time I was going to go up to go to the bathroom, my legs were sleeping, so I couldn't walk anywhere. And I'm like, and by the time I wanted to get up, it was time to get everyone to get back on. I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to go to the bathroom? So I had this chocolate milk cup I found in the trash can.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
And
Okay,
all
on
the
that
pictures on the
note,
back.
bye, everybody.
But wait, bye.
No.
But anyway, so we went to Eilat, and then we slept on the cots in Eilat, and that was in the morning. We Eilat, and then in the morning I went to the ocean and peed in the lot in the ocean. I peed everywhere, rarely.
I remember stopping the bus once that I had to, when we had those long bus rides, I asked the bus driver to stop once.
Dave, you asked me. You told me you had to tell me the bus driver to stop because you couldn't move.
Oh.
Oh, remember we all got sick? One by one, we all got sick. Did you guys get sick too?
I don't think I did.
I don't remember that.
I
That
don't
was
think I
on a
got
big,
sick.
long week trip, and whoever got sick sat in the front of the bus with the black.
No, I didn't
backpack.
get sick during that.
Jen, those trips though, the funny thing about those trips is they felt like they were a week, but they were literally like 2 or 3 days.
They were
Remember?
short. We had one, yeah, they were.
They were like a marathon. Let's see half of Israel in 2 or 3 days, and then we'll see the
Yeah.
other half in another 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
Yeah. We did a north trip and a south trip, I
Right.
remember.
There were, yeah. You're,
I gotta go.
I can't make it going too.
Bye,
Okay.
Julia. We're making
Thank
that
you,
one.
Dan.
We'll ask
Thanks,
about
Jen.
it. Okay.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
he continued.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll talk.
Bye.
And this is like 4 square now. 2 square.
Okay. I'm going to go. Also, I got to go.
But I'll
Okay.
see you on Zoom
Bye-bye.
dancing.
Probably. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
All right, I got to end the meeting. All right, we're ending.